of the City of Green Bay personnel meeting. We will start with roll call. Alder Dorf.
Here.
Alder Corpus Dax.
Here.
And Alder Johnson has been excused. He has another meeting that he's at. I'll entertain a motion on the agenda.
So moved. Second.
And all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That passes unanimously.
Aye.
I'll entertain a motion on the minutes.
So moved. Moved. Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that passes. On to regular business. Item number 1, consideration with possible action on the request to fill the following replacement positions and all subsequent vacancies resulting from internal transfer. A is a civil engineer out of Public Works. Does anyone on the committee have any questions for staff on this?
I have no questions. Move to approve. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously. On to item B of number 1, park maintenance worker from Parks, Recreation, and Forestry. Does anyone on the committee have any questions for staff on this?
Yeah, one thing to interrupt. Director Grenier, did you have something to say?
I did. I appreciate your vote, but I do want to make sure that I let you know. This is for a civil engineer in our utilities division. There are 2 civil engineers in that division. This is for Caitlin Zielinski. On Monday of this week, the 2nd engineer in that division did come in and announce his intent to resign. Caitlin is going to be joining a consulting engineering firm in the Valley, and Ryan is going to be going to the Department of Natural Resources. So that leaves 0 civil engineers in the utilities division. So just so you're aware, we are going to be coming to the first meeting in January with a similar request to fill another one of the civil. So I just wanted to make sure you were aware of that.
We're just not paying enough, or what do you think it is? Sorry.
It's a combination of things. The civil engineer position we're discussing tonight is a combination. There is a pay increase, but it's also the variety of work that's available to a consultant. It's much more broad-based. Many of the managers here in the engineering division or utilities division are previous consultants. We came to the public sector from the private sector. It's not uncommon, especially we see that in younger folks, to go the opposite direction. The individual who's going to be leaving to go to the Department of Natural Resources in a regulator role as opposed to an administration role. And that one we have been informed there is a significant pay increase. It's a significant increase in responsibility for the individual as well. So, I mean, we're happy. Professional growth and development is something that we strive for. If it can't happen here, if it happens with other employers, employee development is still something we very much support. So we're going to wish him well and hope he does great in that new job. But with the additional responsibilities does come a substantial pay increase. We have also asked both individuals to partake in the exit survey process that HR provides so that we can get some meaningful feedback.
So HR and Public Works will start recruiting for both positions, but then obviously we won't fill it until the committee approves that position in January.
All right. Can we get uncivil engineers for any less than a civil engineer?
Like really rude ones? Just,
Yeah. Okay. And Director Fall, these exit interviews are important. I've known other employees who have left city employment in the past, and from what I'm told, they went to other government entities. They're doing the same job, getting paid more, and obviously if that entity is smaller than Green Bay, it's actually a lot less stress and work. And I've been concerned. I know that there's been studies done, and you can't do one every year on the city. They flesh out against what other communities are paying, and obviously, I think trying to compare private sector to public sector is an apple and oranges thing, and it's it's hard to do that. But I know that, you know, your group will stay on top of that, but that is a concern. We, you know, and like Director Grenier said, these people are actually going to different kinds of jobs. You know, one's the private sector and one's going to be doing some different things with the DNR. And obviously, you know, you always encourage people to better themselves and, you know, try to take on more responsibilities and things like that. So, but that has just been my concern. So thank you. I'll
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, go
I'll
ahead.
just, one quick thing is we typically send out electronic survey for exit interviews, but every once in a while we do have in-person interviews, and HR intends to have intends to request at least an in-person interview with the engineers that are leaving. So hopefully we can get some additional information from that. And then with the salary study, you know, we are coming up on 5 years from the last time we did it. I know when we did recently in 2016, 17, I think it took us about 30 some years to do that. So let's try and be a little quicker than that. But I do think we're probably getting close to exploring that option and seeing what the cost would be. And I would anticipate it would be less of an undertaking going, you know, the next couple of years, because we just did one recently. So that's something for us to discuss at a future date.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. I entertain a motion. Or do we get a motion in a second?
Well,
Let's do it again.
I'll move B. Well, A we already passed,
Yes,
right?
A we
But
did. Yeah.
I'll move B.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and that passes unanimously. Consideration with possible action on a request to approve a wage agreement between the City of Green Bay and International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 158, with a 2% general salary increase effective with the start of the pay, in which October 1 of 2022 occurs. Does anyone have any questions for staff on this contractual agreement? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
And
Second.
second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously. Our final item, number 3, an update and discussion on Green Bay Professional Police Association labor negotiations. I'll entertain a motion.
Sure. Move to go into closed.
Second.
All right, all those in favor say
Well,
aye.
I have to read the
Yep,
words.
Yeah.
I have to read the words.
Do
Okay.
the words.
Here's the word. The committee may convene in closed session pursuant to 19.851E Wisconsin statutes for purposes of deliberating or negotiating public employee contracts for competitive or bargaining reasons. The committee may thereafter reconvene in open session pursuant to 19.852 Wisconsin statutes to report the results of the closed session and consider the balance of the agenda. Now we can vote.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that passes unanimously. Staff will get us into that closed session.
No, I move to go into open session.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and that passes unanimously. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion for staff to proceed as directed.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously. All right, let me get my screen back up here. All right, on to informational. Consideration with possible action or request to fill patrol officer and firefighter vacancies in 2022 that were approved as part of the budget.
Move to,
Second,
Why is this under informational?
Yeah, so that's a good question. It's under informational because because you approved all these positions in the budget, and then
Okay.
the Police and Fire Commission also do the hiring process of bringing it every single time to personnel. It just allows us more flexibility to get those police officers and firefighters hired, and it's like I said, approved in the budget. Anyway.
Okay.
okay, and Joe, are we ever thinking about, like I've asked before, overhire for at least police? You know, they're trying to anticipate those. I mean, there's budget savings there, obviously from salaries. But if we can get these kids hired so they're hitting the street all by themselves when the guy retiring is walking out the door.
Yeah, it's been discussed. I think Chief Davis brought that up as well. You know, I think it's a problem we would like to have and we would like to get there at some point. And I know when we anticipate some of the retirements, we can try and forecast that. So once we have that issue, I think we'll try and I guess address it then.
I don't want to take up a whole lot of time here, Alder, but just coming soon to a common council budget session near you. That is one of the things that I want to look at just in the larger, right sizing the police department conversation. We want to institute almost like a recruiting pool.
Yep.
Where if we can figure out over time and we have in that training pipeline at any given time and sort of add that number to the police department so that we've always got those folks in the training pipeline that we know
Yep.
we'll need, if that makes sense.
Yep, absolutely. I agree. I think it's a good idea and a good program. And, if you don't mind, I'll reach out to you maybe after the holidays to discuss some of that in further. All right. I'll entertain a motion on that.
We did.
Oh, I need a second.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. If nobody has any questions about the report of routine personnel action for regular employees, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to receive and place on file?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, folks, our next meeting will be next year, January 11th. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All right, and I appreciate everyone's patience this evening. It's been kind of a long one, but well worth it, I think. So this meeting is,
So no, we have to vote. We didn't vote.
oh, I'm sorry, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, now we can leave.
Okay.
Take care,
Have a good week.
everybody.
Have a good night.